Truck My Life. It's your boy, I'm back. It's been a little minute. But like I said, I'm going to keep these things going. On this episode, I'm going to try to help out those that are planning to, are interested in, or are currently attending the orientation for May Truck and Company. I want to go over what orientation is, what's the basis of it. But nah, I'm not even going to go into that. That's not my expertise. I don't know. I know how it goes and what you should do. So it's mainly I'm giving you tips. What I want to talk about mainly is Mentor Vanguard program. All right. The way it goes is you get hired. You get a pre-hire from May Truck and Company. You come over, well, they set you up with a bus ride or you drive or however you got to get there to the orientation, which they pay for. It's paid orientation. And they set you up with a hotel room or what have you. And in those days, it's about 3 days. In those 3 days, you go over a lot of material. You do your paperwork, you take your urine. They run you over everything. You fill out all your paperwork, and you also do classroom work, videos, and what have you. And at that time, like they're like setting you up to be hired. Only thing that prevents you is that, like, you come in with a dirty urine, and that's obvious, or you lied about something, and it caught up to you. But other than that, you're pretty much gonna get hired if you made it that far. All right, so you're in orientation, and your next step is the Mentor Vanguard program. What is it? What it's for? Okay. These are questions that I didn't know. I thought it was a training program. I didn't know exactly what it was. May Trucking is not like other companies where they put you in a training program and you sit there with a trainer for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, a month, whatever the case is. I don't know how they work. I did my research on most of them. Some of them take like 2 months or certain many miles that you have to drive, and then you're awarded a solo truck status. Mentor Vanguard program is not team driving. We don't do that. It's not a training program either. It's exactly what it's called, a mentorship. All right. And I'm saying this just to let y'all know, I am a mentor now. I'm officially a May Truck mentor. I haven't got anybody yet, but I'm waiting. So maybe it could be you. Who knows? All right. Anyway, what I did learn about the mentor program is that what you do in school, what you did in school, and then took your CDL test, that's what made you a truck driver. You're officially a truck driver once you got that certificate, medical card, and all that. What you do through orientation and through the mentorship program is going to make you a May truck driver. It's a difference. May Truck and Company has their own specifics on how they want things done. Now, they want things done a certain way because their track history. If you've researched, you'll see that our company has won like all these awards on safety, and we're like one of the top three safest trucks in this country, in the United States. All right. With that being said, their methods work, and over the years they've just gotten better. And their thing is they want it done their way, and in a manner that represents their company. So basically, you're going to do orientation. If in orientation they see that you're a good fit, they'll move you on to the mentorship program. Now, the mentorship program can last, typically the window is like 8 to 14 days, but it could last longer depending on who you are. That's all it really amounts to. How fast you catch on to things, how soon can they get you to a terminal to take your assessment. Because when you're done, people think it's a test. It's not a test that you take to solo out. It's an assessment. They want to assess what you have learned. How do you apply what has been taught to you? Now, when you take your assessment, there could be things that are still flaky. So they might keep you and run you over another classroom until they get you to the point that they want you, where they want you at. They'll work with you. They don't expect everybody to come in and just knock it off. Sometimes the slow learner is the better learner, because he took more time to figure it out, and he ends up being one of the top May truck drivers. While another guy just aces everything, and then he's like, he's like Evil Knievel out here getting in accidents and stuff like that, and he's got to go. May trucking ain't gonna keep you around if you run around hitting everything. So it's very important that you have to go through this assessment so they can see where you're at and if you're a good fit for the company. All right. My best advice, and this is what I want to give to you guys, for those that are currently attending, they're interested or planning to attend orientation. Your next step is going to be the mentor program. I suggest that you absorb everything you can and try to comprehend. And if you don't comprehend, ask questions. No matter how dumb you look, ask them again until you're clarified what's going on in orientation. You need to know this stuff because when you get on the truck with a guy like me, a mentor, I'm not fitting to be the orientation instructor. I'm not fitting to tell you all over what you've had 3 days to comprehend. I mean, I know 3 days may seem fast and you may not be able to catch on to everything. I don't expect you to come here and say what the instructor told you at orientation verbatim. No, I want you to come in here and have a good idea of what the instructor was trying to teach you. That way you'll make our job easier as mentors. Thus, you'll get pushed out faster and solo out quicker, and you'll be assessed easily. Don't get through orientation. Don't just go through it. It's not that. It's a step. You have to take that step. If you don't take that step to understand what's going on in orientation and you get to the next step, you're behind. So now, instead of me showing you how to be a May truck driver, I'm basically showing you everything that was in orientation, so we done wasted a week in going over the same stuff that you should have already had an idea of. So now I can't like physically show you how it's done or mentor you properly. Now I gotta teach you and then mentor you, and that makes the job harder for both of us, and it leads to a bad environment. A lot of guys do have problems with their mentors because sometimes the mentors expect them to know certain things, and I can understand why, because they did have the time to do it. When you're in orientation, you go back to your hotel room. Don't go boo loving. Don't go, hey baby, da da da. You know, I mean, mind you, you want to talk to your kids and your wifey or your hubby. I get that, but make time, just like if you were in regular school, to go back home and review, study, just like you would tell your own kids, you know, study. You got to come here and study. So after orientation, go back to your room and study. If you're cool with the other orientationees or whatever they call them, other students and whatever, then go over stuff with them and see if they, you know, if y'all can just, you know, break down some science together and put it together and be like, hey, I think he was talking about this, and you know, you never know. Other advice I would give you is if you bump into a mentor or anyone that's a driver, you know, at orientation, you know, because you'll see them coming in and out. If you have time, you know, pick their head, talk to them. You know, ask them for their number. Maybe you want to go over something while you're in orientation with them, or maybe while you're on the mentor's truck, you know, you want to call them and be like, hey, my mentor's saying this, and they can validate it. You know, because sometimes in your head, you know, if you get a bad vibe with your mentor, you may start pushing all his information to the side. Like, you know what, I could read, I know what I'm saying. But it's better to have more than one opinion sometimes, so don't be afraid to call your instructor back at orientation and double check with things. I mean, that's cool too. I mean, I don't get annoying with it, but, you know, nonetheless, double check, because I'm going to say from my own experience, my mentor, you know, we butted heads here and there, but I knew what I came in to do. I knew I came to absorb what he was doing. I knew that this guy's successful at what he's doing, so I need to learn what he does. And if I see something wrong, I need to incorporate a better way of doing exactly what he did wrong. I didn't look at it like I'm a mimic this guy. No, I didn't do that. I'm not blind following anybody. But at the same token, I know that his method is working. Now, could I make it even better? Yeah. But first, I have to understand the way he does it so that I can transfer that into my own method of doing the same exact act. With that being said, under the guidelines of May Trucking Company, you understand? Like, they leave a little breathing room to do certain things a certain way, but at the same time, you have to come up with problem solving yourself. Now, if you and your your mentor are not getting along, remind yourself that you're not here to make a friendship. You could end up becoming best buddies with your mentor. And like I call my mentor all the time, and regardless if we butted heads or not, I call him for information. Sometimes I call him just to see how he's doing, because I know he has a good heart. Even though me and him might have butt heads, I know he has a good heart. I know that he's doing this because he wants to teach, just like that's the same reason I want to do this, because I want to show the next person on how to do the job. The more people doing the job right, the safer we'll be, the more contracts our company gets, yada, yada, yada. Everything rolls the same way, If you're just tossing people to the side and just getting them out of here and they're going out there doing a terrible job, not representing the company properly, then we lose contracts. If we lose contracts, then I lose work. So it behooves me to make sure that you come out of here doing a great job, Well, the best of possible. I can't force your hand. I can't control what happens afterwards, but I can control what's going on with me in this truck with you. Now, like I said, the more that you understand what was going on in orientation, the better off you're going to be when you get in the truck with your mentor. He no longer has to go backwards. He could just move forward with you, So when he's showing you the stuff like the life of the load or the Qualcomm and showing you what macros to use, you already got an idea of what it is. So now he's just putting that final piece of the puzzle together so that you can see the whole picture. That's what the mentorship is about. It's not for him to go over everything you've already done. You went over that in orientation, so that's your job. And a lot of things are things that you did learn in trucking school, but then there's a lot of things that the way trucking school taught you to do it, you got to pretty much erase that and do it the way May Trucking Company wants you to do it. And when I say that, it's completely legal. They are very legal. They make sure everything's legal, but it's just a different method, and they want you to do their method. Now, once you figured out their method and see how it works, if you do certain things in your own little angle of the same method, that's going to be your call to do. But May Trucking Company wants you to do it their particular way because their particular way has worked and is proven. So that's the whole point of the mentorship program. So don't come into this with the illusion of, oh, I'm going to get in the truck with a mentor. He's going to train me. He's going to show me how to do this and how to do that. It's kind of like that, but not really. Like, you're going to come in here. I might drive at first and just show you and just ask you questions to see where your head's at. Then I'll toss you into the seat, and now is your ride. You go. You're gonna be pressing the buttons on the Qualcomm, and that's all to it. You're gonna do everything. You're gonna do the job. I'm just sitting here making sure that everything's done properly. If I find that it's not done properly, I'll let you know. And then once we got a break, I can explain it to you. But if you make me go through that every single time, then you're going to make this process harder and longer. And that's how mentors and ELDs butt heads over small facts that they should have had already glued in their head before they got onto the truck. And a lot of times, there's not a mentor ready for you. So you got a couple days, they send you home. They pay you, and you go home. And you wait for a mentor to come get you. Or they'll, whatever they situate, but you wait for a mentor. Those days you're home, don't sit there, with your lady and going out to the movies and stuff like that. Like, if you're going to do that, make sure you section a bit of time to go over your blue book. Go over what you need to do before you get on this truck. It'll make your time easier because the mentor will be impressed that you already took time and took the initiative to understand what was being taught in orientation. You went over your handbook. You got into the truck prepared. So thus, y'all going to have a splendid time. Even if y'all don't click, you're going to have a splendid time because click or not click, his job is easier. Thus, your job and what you're doing is easier. So basically after that, it's just a personality thing. And like I say, you're not here to be friends. You're here to be colleagues. And just like any job, you don't come in and say, I want this job, and then you see the redhead secretary and say, I don't like redheads, I'm done with this, the hell with this job, keep your fucking check. Nah, it don't work like that. You come in, you meet your colleagues. If you don't like them, they got a lazy eye. This one here is obese. This one here is too skinny. You don't come in a job for that. You came into for the job, not for the people. You know, if you can get along with them, great. If you're a people person, awesome. But other than that, there's no need for you to be a forever friend with your mentor. So understand that before you get into the truck with a mentor, you're not going to be a forever friend. That's not what it's about. You're here not to be trained, but to be mentored. That's it. So come into a truck with a mentor, understanding your blue book, understanding what went over in orientation. Do not go through orientation. Attend and actually absorb and comprehend with orientation. The whole point of orientation is to orientate you with May Truck and Company. So get orientated before you get in the truck with a mentor. Then your time with your mentor is going to be cool. It's going to be easy. It's going to be a piece of cake. You're going to be in and out before you know it. You're in your own truck. You're cruising, and you're doing like me, I got my dog. I didn't have my wife. I didn't have my son on the truck, and now I'm a mentor. So you can move fast. You can move fast in this company. You just got to have your eye on the prize. And that's my biggest advice to you guys before y'all come out here. Prepare yourself to study while you're in orientation. Do not just go through it.